So I will walk you through the Canvas platform. I'm going to show also example projects that we have created, and the overall perspective on the platform is to bring content to anybody on any screen in ways that allow customization and frictionless execution. Now, these are small and big words at the same time, but frictionless execution means that we really thought about the human factor in building the software platform, and how can we bring the most sophisticated media server technologies, Unreal Engine, virtual production, Zoom with tens of thousands of people, and bring all that to one canvas, which you can manipulate live and create experiences that are off the charts. So Canvas has been used in many studios and in many well-known events, which I'm going to showcase today. And to introduce myself, I am the CEO and founder of Immersive Design Studios, and the software platform is called Canvas. So the Canvas platform, it's really a full-stack technology, both on-premise, in the cloud, and it's a full platform of several applications that all work together in conjunction. To speak to it a little more, what we wanted to do is to bring down the barriers between several technologies that live in the cloud, others that you may have on-premise, and files that you have locally. What we did is to create a seamless, cohesive connection between all those technologies. If that's Zoom, if that is AI in the cloud, if that is files that you own locally, we literally make it very easy for the user to create experiences on the fly and modulate and transform them as needed. So the Canvas platform components is, of course, server technology, our iPad application, which forms the interface for executing your projects. And those interfaces can be created custom for any customer, allowing for very, very powerful workflows and personalization. I think that is pretty much unheard of. The Canvas content library is extensive. It holds enormous environments, footage, and generative content that you can change at any time, so to really create unique moments at every moment. Canvas Studio is the application for the power user. It's to configure your servers, the layouts, the drivers, your SMPTE 2110 settings, everything you can imagine, from your NDI streams to video over IP, Dante, everything is configured, in that application. Canvas Multiviewer is the application that allows you to create entire control rooms and visibility on your data. Sorry, I keep hitting this button on the bottom. And Canvas Cloud, of course, is where everything is smartly organized and where the same server application can run in cloud instances and stream 60 frames per second to 4K screens. So then Canvas AI is something that we are still working on, but we create our own neural networks and our own image processing technologies to do some of the most sophisticated audience management and also image processing. So I'm not going to go too much in detail about the platform. I'm going to start a little bit more about what has it triggered. So virtual and hybrid events really are very, very important today and will continue to be in the future. We've created with Canvas the ability to create both on-screen and for the user at home connections that connect an entire studio with tens of thousands of participants, sometimes up to 150,000 of them. And so these studios here are all powered by Canvas, including the one where you see Tony Robbins here during the pandemic launching this particular very well-known project, which was powered by Canvas, and where the entire screen space, every pixel, went through our servers and triggered this hybrid events I think, uptick and popularization. So this was really a very much powerful and fun project. We did this at light speed, and this entire studio was erected in very little time. Here we have other celebrities that have used the platform. In this case, Sylvester Stallone, that is doing a session to get closer to his fans. This is also during the pandemic. So fan engagement and people that appear on screen were for him there to spontaneously interact with, speak to, pin them, and have immediate conversations with them, no matter who he chooses on screen. Kate Hudson of other people, and here you can see a little bit of the virtual production capabilities where the speakers on stage are really in a context of a space. They're filmed. So for the people at home and the connectivity with that speaker, you have context, then you have the Zoom people all around it. And for the speaker himself, it creates an enormous experience of having the high ground, being able to make eye contact with your audience in a very personal way. So if you compare it, an installation like this can have 1,500 people on the front row. That means you make eye contact with 1,500 people when you gaze around. And this truly has remarkable effects on the speaker. The insights in the psychology of your audience is really what triggers the best presentations. It's the connection with the audience that we're leveraging, and that creates a phenomenal input for the speaker to become his best self. And this is really what we're very proud of. Warner Studios is here in Vegas. They have a very big setup. This studio is unique as it's pulled off some, I think, landmark events where 180,000 people connect in Zoom, and where some of those celebrities actually have taken the stage to speak with their audiences. Here are a couple of more slides. This place is very welcoming, and another example in New York, the White and Case convene space called Quorum. This is a 40K resolution LED wall. This is 10 times 4K. So this is an incredible, large, and dense LED wall. Every pixel is run natively. So the videos that we run on there, multiple layers, are 40K resolution, lossless video, or visually lossless video. At the same time, we can run Unreal Engine on that context at native resolution, 60 frames per second. At the same time, we can have over 15, in this case, 1,500 people are visible on the screen simultaneously. All of this happens via video over IP. So we take in NDI, we take in SMPTE 2110, we can spit out the same. That means that your video production can be done in incredibly flexible ways, and therefore you can create just about any screen layout, as every server is aware of all the content of every other server. So synchronization of content, moving content across clusters, everything is automated, and this really facilitates the users to create phenomenal outcomes. Here you see some of our Canvas libraries where you create real-time 3D content on these screens in native resolution that can be fully customized, color, moving the PIPs around in 3D, and really create contexts of beautiful layouts. This is actually at the inauguration in this room, and I'm going to move on to some corporate and entertainment events. Canvas powered Zoomtopia, and it was, I think, 1 or 2 years ago now. This entire screen, 16K resolution with 2 side screens, ran on the Canvas platform to create the world's first bidirectional event at the scale of what Zoom does. And so the Zoom stations in the back end, we're talking to our server installations, and we were able to bring these people in live in 3D. We created on the server generative designed chat windows that are transparent. We don't grab these from a Zoom client. This is all done generatively, including the emoticons. We're live, measuring how many claps and how many hearts were being sent in those Zoom rooms, and then we would generatively render those on screen in 3D. Social media, the same. These were live feeds that were pulled in live. And this event was pulled together in less than 2 weeks of time after the call to pull this off in front of an audience where a multi-billion-dollar company is really taking a lot of stake here to run this and do everything live without rehearsal, and where every person in Zoom is a real participant. This project actually won the Hybrid Project of the Year. We were very proud of that because we worked hard to make it work. And of course, our collaboration with Zoom here speaks volumes, and we've gotten very close to them as we've been doing a lot of larger installations where Zoom is leveraging the audience participation. So here you see me just filming this with my iPhone. All of this is done live, and none of this required cue to cue. So every feature, every moment, every cue here in this project happens non-linearly. So you can bring up anything at any time you want. So fully linear interactions. Sorry, non-linear interactions. A couple of more views here. Beautiful moments. Every video here also played at 60 frames per second in full resolution in 16K. And everything is rendered on top in Unreal, where every generative piece of content, including those chats, were all live feeds that were pulled into the server and rendered by Unreal. A little more, we also see lots of product launches on the platform. So when you have engagement with your customers or with the audiences, it is also a place where fan proximity and product proximity can be triggered. So Nike Jordan in this particular case, has done a test run with Canvas. And in fact, we also powered Jensen Huang's NVIDIA CES keynote speech in 2017 was done on the Canvas platform. That was done, I think it was our first real public moment where the server and our technology was staged at that degree, and we were working directly with the CEO of NVIDIA to pull this off. So GeForce Now was launched there, and at CES, it was a 300-foot wraparound screen, 180 degrees around the entire venue, 9,000 people in the room, and millions watching it. Every pixel on that screen was Unreal Engine, and we're talking Unreal Engine 4.4. This was before in-display. This was before anything was done with Unreal enterprise grade. Yet we built a full cluster of servers that played all of this content natively on P6000s, which are 4 generations back now in terms of graphics cards. So this was a big moment. Every PIP in there, these computers are rendered in 3D. Inside, there were live demos shown of GeForce Now. So every pixel there was live, and it really did a big deal as the entire audience could see for the first time a presenter on stage who speaks his mind, such as Jensen does. There's no rehearsals. Everything is nonlinear, and everything had to appear exactly when he wanted it. And this is now exactly what our platform has been able to provide to so many customers, is that facilitation of keeping the paint wet, changing things at runtime without needing to reboot your server, restarting projects, or whatever. I will show this little video, Code by Gentry. Gentry is a ex-employee of Nike, started his own shoe brand. This is what a broadcast in Zoom looks like when it's being broadcasted from a Canvas studio. This was actually done at Warrior Studios here in Vegas. A 360-degree screen, 38K resolution in total, and this also was facilitating Canvas AR, where the projects and the shoes were shown in 3D floating over the stage for people who were participating in Zoom. The in-house audience was seeing the augmentation on the side screen, so they were not locked out of the experience. Here are a couple of slides more. Very much love this particular place. If you have a chance to visit it, you should. This is a place where goosebumps just pop up as you walk into the door. It's really a magical, large place. Every LED wall side to side is 60 foot wide. So the photos don't do it justice. It's massive. It has an enormous impact. So every pixel on screen here is rendered by Canvas, and also the full Zoom integration for these events in 3D were powered and brought to life. Integration of Unreal Engine provides for amazing scenery. All this content was made custom for this particular launch, and every shoe was scanned in 3D, integrated in Unreal, and the lighting on the shoes actually followed the lights inside the studio so that everything really has a place as if it's floating inside the space. Of course, the chat integration is part of the experiences, and Canvas basically in general can show any content as long as it exists in pixel space. We can bring it in. So no matter the resolution, no matter the origin of the file, you can bring it in video over IP. We will be able to make it run. Here another picture of the AR moment with the shoe floating above the stage and gently speaking to the design. And then further here, a little bit of footage of the actual broadcast of the place. And to speak to this, what we love about the platform and how it's designed is that we really focus on the human-centric approach, both for the speaker, people at home, and the facilitation of executing these very complex integrations. Canvas iPad, therefore, has a full customizable interface that you can create your own buttons, your own flows, your own way of managing this. So content management, execution, all these elements are into the platform. Cloud and metaverse. This is actually before we did the Tony Robbins project. We created the world's first full cloud-based production space where all of Riot Games people of their studio were at home. This is now 4 years old. This was streamed to 5 million people, and the whole Riot Games LCS broadcast for the esports event was done entirely from their homes. While the destination was actually a virtual studio rendered in Unreal inside the cloud instances of Canvas, we had only 6 weeks to bring this entire endeavor to life, including the content, all the virtual stages, and the handoff to the client was one afternoon. We've not received a single support call for this entire broadcast, with 72 virtual cameras floating in space, creating these amazing outcomes, several virtual stages where people were discussing the gameplay as they do in esports events, and this was broadcasted to 5 million people in a live fashion. This is not a rebroadcast. Everything was live. Then Metaverse. This is a 3-year-old screenshot. At Warrior Studios, we've had the privilege to work on some amazing projects where live integrations of metaverse scenery are augmented with these integrations of Zoom, people floating in 3D. Very, very exciting perspectives. We personally feel that the future of metaverse is the intersection with physical spaces and where you walk between physical and virtual and back and forth and create really seamless connections with these environments. Everything really, for that to be successful, requires frictionless platform execution, and this is really what we're all about. A couple more screenshots of these amazing things. This person is in a green screen integrated into the space. These are placeholder images to create the kind of interactions that we can bring forth. And I don't have a screenshot of it, but these people can actually come off the stage in AR and float right here for the host to talk to. So if you're in Zoom, you don't see this person necessarily inside the screen. We can actually bring it out in AR, and they create a proximity of that conversation fully in augmented reality. A couple of more pictures, and then, of course, many other verticals are being served. Training, simulation, immersive environments. So architecture has been something we did for many years, where entire buildings were built in 3D and then staged in Canvas. One Vanderbilt was entirely designed in Unreal 4.5. We started this project, I think. It was running Canvas. It was staged for their investors to kick off the building. This is a $5 billion or $3 billion development right next to Grand Central. This entire property was rendered in Canvas and actually rented out to the customers using our platform in boardrooms, but also in large setups to bring attention to the project. And of course, classrooms we have done as well, entirely small ones where we use projectors, where Warp and Blend is all managed by Canvas. Over 12 projectors here. This is a very economic setup, by the way. But we have similar setups where the screen is 300 foot, and that is in Ottawa at La Cité. So one Vanderbilt, one more screenshot here, and another couple projects. And then, of course, we always thank our partners and clients for our contributions, and specifically NVIDIA and Epic. I want to highlight NVIDIA, of all people, has been incredibly supportive to us, and specifically Jensen Huang himself, who I had the privilege to meet in 2014, brought me to his company and really started conversation on how to bring this reality into the GPUs and make it possible on stages. So therefore, I wanted to draw special attention to that. So thank you for your attention and your participation today. If there's any questions, please come forward. I'm here to answer them. Thank you.